I never knew I would go to Napoli for prostitution. I was 15 the first time, and I was so devastated. I was so hurt that first time, but I don't have any choice by obeying the command.
They prefer young people, young girls, who they are breasts, stand, they are looking good. And that is the kind of people they need in Europe.
My madam is in Italy. If I did not pay my madam, the juju will kill me.
Human trafficking is the third most profitable crime in the world, after drug and gun dealing. Since the 1990s, tens of thousands of Nigerian women have been sent to Europe and forced into prostitution. Most of them have come from the area around Benin City in the state of Edo.
My name is Tony from Nigeria. This traffic is my major business, although I have other business, which is farming. Since 2002, I took people from Nigeria to Libya, through sea and through Europe. Ever since I started the business, a lot of contacts have been calling me from Europe, both Italy, Spain, Holland. They call me, say, am I speaking with Tony? I say, yes. Say, someone gave me your number that you were the one that trafficked his sister, brother to Italy. I say, yes. Say, what do you want? He say, I have somebody in Nigeria. Please help me to bring them.
My name is Blessing. I'm 20 years old. I don't have parents. I live with my grandmom. So I look for work. There's no work. I've learned stylist, hairdresser. There's no money here. So I want to travel. I have my bag there. So I'm ready to travel. So I can make money to take care of my grandma.
I went to Libya before. I came back December. I'm traveling back to there, to Libya. So I'm traveling back to there because there is no job, nothing in this place, in this country. So I want to go back. I'd rather die there. It's better for me to die there and die here. It's better for me to go.
All the female I have taken through the desert to Europe, 25 years down to 18 years. And these are the people they love in Europe, these young girls. If you are old, nobody will like you, nobody will like to come and pick you to their house to make love with you. Then they prefer young people, young girls, who they are breasts, stand, they are looking good. And that is the kind of people they need in Europe. Even the one you interviewed today, they are just 20-something years. I asked them, say 22, I said, no problem. Are you sure? He said, yes. And if you look at them, they are still very young. 17 years, I cannot take you. It's a crime. It's against the law. I don't have the measurement to detect your age. You are mature, and you are still looking young. The madam said, bring it for me. I need her. I said, okay.
When I first got here in Alexandria, I started working here the first day, just in front. I came here with my madam the first day, and we
walked down the road and she told me I can stay here. I can walk from the beginning of the street down to that place. It's a very good place to start with, at least. The police doesn't disturb much here. And the car stops here. That's the garden I take them to. Just this place. I'm not very comfortable. I'm shivering. It's not a good experience. I really don't wish to go back to it.
In Benin City, everyone knows who Madam is. She's a pimp based in Europe who takes Nigerian women to work for her. Madam pays traffickers to bring young women across the Sahara and north to the Mediterranean. In Europe, she ties them to trafficking by means of financial debt, violence, and a curse, or juju, performed in Nigeria.
My madam is in Italy. If I did not pay my madam, the juju will kill me, except I pay her the money. So when I pay her, I'm free. If I did not pay her, the juju started following me everywhere I go. So the thing will cause madness. It cause madness. It's real. It's real.
So what's your name?
Blessing.
Blessing. You want to leave this country? You want to travel, go abroad?
Yes.
Because of there is no improvement in our country.
Yes.
You want to go there to serve your madam.
Yes.
When you serve your madam, you make money. Failing to pay the money, all the assessors, he will worry you and will deal with you. Make sure you pay your madam. So all the juju and the assessors that here is looking at you. Try to pay.
The Libyan road is very dangerous. Many people in the Sahara Desert, many people died. It's because of hungry, tasting, stress. Maybe they don't have money to eat. They don't have water. Some of them will drink their urine. Even me, I drink my urine. When I get to Europe, I'm going to pay my madam. He said it's prostitute. Yes, it's prostitution. I agree.
Sometimes when you go there, they come with a knife that they don't have money to pay you, and you have to make love to them. And sometimes you meet the ones who doesn't want to make love with condom, and they have to go with a knife. So you have to make love to them without a condom. It's so dangerous. There are lots of dangerous lines, a whole lot of dangerous lines, really.
It pains when I think about it, so I don't want to talk about it. When I went to Italy, 2014, February 28th, I stayed 2 years and 8 months because she told me I'm going to help her in the domestic work. She didn't tell me it's that work. When I get there, then I asked her, where is the business you say I want to be doing? She said, I see other girls the way they do, so that is the same business me I want to do. I told her, but this is not the type of business you told me. So she was shouting at me, like beating me up. So I don't have any other choice than to do it. That is it. It's as a result of me telling her I will not do it. So she injured me in the process.
So they forced you?
Yes. Those men, some take me to the house, some inside the car. The men, they were paying me. If I go to them in their house, they pay me €100. So if I do it with them inside the car, some 50, some 30, some 40, some 20. I was not happy giving her. So it was not easy. Yeah, one of the stories I can remember, two guys came to me, so we went inside the car. So one was like making love with me. He come. The other one didn't come. Then he was like dragging with me. I told him, why are you dragging with me? It's not my fault that you didn't come. He said inside the process I should give back his money to him. I said, I can't give you back your money. He said if I did give him back my money, he would kill me. So I have to give him his money. So they was like fighting with me, the both of them. So I managed to escape and I ran. So that's it.
Nigeria is home to more than 200 million people. Less than 10 million of them live in the small state of Edo. Edo has its own deep-rooted culture. It was the seat of power of the ancient kingdom of Benin. The traditional king, the Oba, is still highly respected. The king has used this respect in the fight against trafficking, including by putting a curse on the traditional priests who participate in it.
Going to continue to fight against human trafficking. I was particularly not happy when I saw on CNN Benin Kingdom, Benin City being described as the hub of human trafficking. We had to change that picture.
But human trafficking has strong roots in the area. Edo has had connections to Europe since colonial times.
Edo Delta State are culturally a polygamous society, where men marry many wives. And the women over the years have learned to take care of themselves and their children. So every woman in a husband's house fends for herself and for her children. And the women are the breadwinners. In Edo State, the women are very productive in trade, in commerce. Many of them travel to Italy, especially, to buy leather works, lace material. So they buy these fabrics and they come back home to sell.
The Nigerian economy collapsed in the 1980s and commerce dried up. Many women from Edo stayed in Italy working on tomato farms.
Then the opportunities in Europe also started to decline. Other migrant workers coming from Eastern Europe. And so jobs were taken, the opportunities became smaller. And so some of them resorted to prostitution. And then suddenly realized that prostitution was a big business. They started from their immediate families to recruit, and then take them there and put them in prostitution. So that circle started from the first generation of victims became madams, and they were all coming back home, flaunting this wealth, and people around saw that they were doing well, and families wanted their children to be like that because they saw it as a way out of poverty. wanted to go. That was when the craze started.
Okay, starting from this school here. Wait, sometimes I stay here from this school and I walk it down the road. I lived in Benin with my family. I'm from a polygamous home. So we went and took the oath, agreed that when I come here, I'm gonna make money through a salon shop, which I thought there's a salon store here, just like it is in Nigeria. When I got to Sicily, and I called my mom. I told my mom, Mommy, I'm not going to go to the woman's place that I heard when you come here, you start prostituting instead of working, and there's no shop for me. But what happened was the madam that brought me here started threatening my mom. And she told me they called today, they threatened her that they're going to kill her to get me back. I need to pay the money that I used in coming, 30,000 euro. November 10, I got some message that my mom died that night. So it was obvious that it was because of me. They killed her. I was so scared. There's no family, there's no friends, just me alone. The husband came and started beating me. I have to go to work that same day. I had no choice. What killed my mom, I don't want it to kill me too. That night, I started working in Alexandria.
For near we get to where I stay for this Libyans where I stay for Saba. Get the house, the back of the house now get now big upstairs, now connection the one they also there.
There's so many girls.
They jubilee. And then the girls will get her come. Now every year after a year she get every day. And that connection she come for the work. Talking about if you get to Gachon, you get to Saba, that is where they used to sell people. Their slave trade is there. They do slave trade there. So different trawler, the smugglers come there to buy black. They sold her at the same way they sold me in that same place. That she was taken to a connection house. Here she was told to do prostitution.
Nancy and Amos are fellow survivors. They both experienced the Libyan slave market. About 5,000 Nigerians have fled back home from Libya. Amos was sold 4 times at Libyan slave markets and forced to do labor at different places.
Many people were having ulcers, some were having stomach pains, some were dying. In my presence, I even took food from someone that was dead. I took from his mouth because he was dead. I have to eat the food.
The biggest source of income for Libyan criminal gangs is blackmail. They extort money from families using torture.
They will ask you of your number, the number of your parents in Nigeria. If you are from Ghana, they will ask you the number. They have enough card, they will just dial it. As the number is ringing, they will take the electric shock and put it in your anus. You'll be shouting, the thing will be shocking your body. As you are talking, they will be hearing it. So you'll be shouting. Then your parents will be listening to your voice. And they'll be asking who is on the line talking. Then you'll be the one and say, Mommy, it's me.
As Amos escaped from his cell to get help from some UN workers, he was shot in the arm.
A shot here. Spot. So these are the bruises.
How did you get them?
I was tortured with iron. I have this bruise over my body, even here. My back. You can see it. So the bruise is still in my body.
Look at the sad girls. They big girls, they big boys. A bad country.
Man will cost sleep with you 10 dinner, that is 1,000. Sometimes 4 men they sleep with them. Even the day of my birth, they are inside prison. So I not forget them.
We travel to Nancy's village to meet her mother and father. Our route takes us into the Niger Delta, where most of the trafficked women come from. Men and women alike flee poverty here. That's despite the fact that the Niger Delta is one of the richest oil regions in the world. Oil has been pumped here since the 1950s. But for decades, the wealth has gone to multinational oil companies and corrupt politicians. In spite of the resources, this area is one of the poorest in the world.
No, there's one thing about governor, the president. They want to see how some people they suffer. Because there are some people who live in the rural area, so they are suffering. Even the school will go not very far. We don't have a hospital, we don't have chemists, and so we don't have light. Our children, with the confusion, just attack them. So we take a very long risk before we take them to Benin. Sometimes we happen at 12 o'clock in the night, there's no vehicle. Sometimes we just lose that baby. So we need help if government can help us.
No work, nothing. Even the person manage to go to work, maybe at the end of the day you get small money, and that money not going to feed. That makes some of them, when they get the opportunity, that makes some of them go.
Like all those timber work, we use hand pulley to pull them. If you look at the journey, we will go that place around 7 o'clock in the morning, we return back 8:30 in the evening. The suffer before you get it here is very hard. Like if there's engine boat, flying boat, we can just go there, maybe with 2 hours, we don't come back. But when we are using hand, it takes us about 6 hours or sometimes 12 hours. And like those people that travel, because there's no job, I don't know if everybody can walk in the river. I'm not going to people die anyhow. There's a woman that traveled, when 1 or 2 of children travel, they lost it. They cry, forget. There's nobody you go to ask, say, how far? No. Sometimes the mother will just sit down and cry. We'll see the parent and say, one day they will come. But whether it's alive now, we don't even know. So we can't tell.
Only now do we find out that Nancy has not been in touch with her parents. She ran away from home about 5 years ago. Her mother assumed she was long dead.
Long time, many years. I don't see my picky again. I'm happy to see her. Because me don't know where it from come out now. I don't know where it go. I beg, you could help me.
See my dad.
Well, I feel so good. I feel so good. All I thought she's dead. All of a sudden, she left out because of hardship. In my house now, no light, nothing. A cup of rice here, you know how much it is. A cup of beef, you know how much it is. Even all these thick tomatoes, you can't afford to buy it. What do we do? We go to bush and cut leaves. Leaves and ground there, we use it for soup. That is how we live here.
Now, I'm feeling good. I'm happy. Because I see my parents long time. I not call them, I not talk to them for they not see me.
Were you afraid to call them, you know?
Because I don't achieve anything. Wetin carry me come up for us, I wish there nothing. So I don't feel come here empty-handed. I wish most say no my I come, I achieve something, I get store. And no my if I they work, I feel they bring something out from their side. Mommy still take this one at least.
I want to ask a question. Has anybody ever heard of the word human trafficking?
Yes. Human trafficking is the illegal trade of human beings from one place to another.
We are from media campaign against human trafficking.
You capture them early is better than, telling the adults. Because most of these children that are trafficked are young ones of school age. Not even the dropouts. Some of them who have finished secondary school are trafficked because they believe that everything outside this country, particularly in Europe, is rosy. Everything is fine. There is enjoyment everywhere. Whereas they wouldn't know exactly that when you are not certificated and you leave the shores where you grew up, you don't even know exactly where you are going to. The European countries are certificated. They encourage education, but in Nigeria, education is not encouraged. There is no education in Nigeria. I must be sincere. What we are doing is just, abracadabra. Adding 1 + 1 to make 2. And nobody is really assisting.
Statistics have shown that majority of our young boys and girls that have been trafficked, they are from Edo State. Is that true of us? Is that true? I like the fact that you are not being biased. We are all from Edo State.
Even the very rich men. I don't want to call them politicians, but most of them politicians are the causes of this human trafficking. They use us, use these youths, and dump them. All monies they make, they wouldn't bother to say, let me establish companies, farms, and other things in their areas for employment of the youths. Rather, they slash this money in their soccer wells. Yeah. You watch, listen, and take home the message they are giving to you.
Get up, get dressed. We need to go for the boss. You have just 3 hours. Please, be patient.
Anybody can traffic you. So, as students, you should be wise. You should be vigilant. If any offer is being given to you, you should sit down and ask questions.
We will go to the street, speak with the girl, give them the address, we share condoms to them. And when the girls started knowing us, we now talk about at 18, that if you want to leave prostitution work, the government of Italy can offer you a accommodation, pay school fees for you to go back to school, and you can regain back your life as a good girl that you were. Because most of the victims, they did not know what they are coming to do. Though a lot of people argue that they knew, they did not know. Like me, I didn't know. So they are victims. So that is how the program started.
Princess knows what she's talking about. 20 years ago, she was a victim of human trafficking, forced into prostitution in northern Italy. That's where she met her husband, Alberto. Together, they founded an organization to support victims of human trafficking.
We started to work for supporting victims of trafficking in the years 2000. And now we have a lot of girls in our shelter. The number of the minors is increasing in the last 2-3 years. We meet girls in the streets, 16, 17, 18, sometimes 15.
I was 15 the first time, and I was so devastated. I was so hurt that first time, but I don't have any choice by obeying the command. But I never knew I would go to Napoli for prostitution. She said that if I come out from my camp, then he will look for a job for me. Then he will direct me to my lawyer, process my documents. Oh, that is how she said I should leave the camp.
We can speak about prostitution, but really it's slavery. Because it's not voluntary sex work, but it's forced prostitution, is slavery. The girl work normally from €5 to 20 each customer, and cannot decide the place and the time where they work, cannot refuse, and if they don't carry money every day to the madam in the house, the madam, they beat the girl and they took the family in Nigeria. If you go around Italy, all the main town, the area of prostitution is the factory side in the suburbia of the town. Because during the day, this place is full of camion, bus, but in the night, the factory side is closed. Dangerous place, dark, with few people, and robbery is too much.
One night, I stand on the streets. Then there's a car passed by. The car, inside the car, there were so many boys, so many young boys, so they splashed butter on me. That's why I injured them. Took me to hospital. They took me to Piamolos.
So is it like she saved you from the street?
Yes.
Yes. They saved many of us.
Yes. God will continue to bless.
Edo State now has a task force against human trafficking, bringing together the most important authorities and organizations.
So today we are using the men and officers of the Nigerian Immigration Service Edo State Command, the anti-human trafficking squad. They call it a special strike force. We are going to use today. They are part of our task force, part of our team. They are very dedicated and committed to this job.
One day earlier, a young woman returned from Russia. There, she had had to bury her friend, who was apparently murdered by the women's pimps. They were promised jobs in Moscow, but ended up being forced into prostitution.
I met this mama angel. So you know, asked me what kind of work I'm doing. I told her that I'm a nurse. So you can't tell me that there's work in Russia there, so I can if I go to Russia, so I will find a work there, working to change my life. That's okay. I agreed. They know that it's a prostitute. I want to go and do it there. So when I get there, so I don't have choice, so I'm not doing the prostitution.
Let me just read a piece of the petition to you so that you will know the basis why we are acting on this information. All right, this is a petition. This is a petition. I signed it yesterday. It's a petition against Mama N, Papa N, the native daughter, for a case of murder, trafficking, and sexual exploitation. That is the case.
The women were trafficked in summer 2018 with the help of passes to the FIFA World Cup.
Now, we heard from her last on the 1st day of September 2018 when she complained bitterly over her being forced into prostitution by Madame and her husband, who threatened to kill her if she doesn't comply. They went to Russia with a pregnancy. Got to Russia, the Madame said she must abort that pregnancy. So the other one survived, and this one died. We are set for the operation right now. We are going to the woman's shop. We are going to pick anybody that's working with the woman in that place that will take us to where this woman is currently hiding now. She doesn't stay in her house, but there's somebody that knows where she's hiding. The barber shop, the hairdressing salon, and the supermarket belongs to the madam. These are the proceeds of exploitation. Picked about 5 of them right now. These 5 of them are not play active role in this trafficking, but they have an idea of what transpired before the girl was trafficked.
Okay, you lock me.
I just resumed work two months back. I was not there before.
You're working for somebody for 2 months?
2 months, yes.
You don't know his house?
I don't know. All my own is I will come in the morning.
Is he your uncle, your relation? Tell me.
No.
Don't get me pissed off.
No more.
What part of Isha is he from?
Ma, I don't. Madam is the one that mostly owns. Is the one is Madam travel. That is why he.
My friend, who are you talking to? You think you can come here and be talking wrong, telling lies? Between you and him, who is closer to the man and the woman? Between both of you is closer. I said, who is closer?
It has been his wife that both of us do.
It's the wife we need now, is your boss. The wife is your boss. So, is she not your boss? So tell us about your boss. When last did you see?
I saw her last 2 weeks Saturday.
2 weeks Saturday?
Saturday, yeah. 2 Saturdays back.
2 weeks Saturday.
2 weeks Saturday.
Then, hold him like that and take him to the cell. For now, they said she traveled. So the husband will come and he will tell us better of where the wife has gone to.
The trafficker's husband was interviewed, but then released. He's a policeman. Everyone else who was arrested was also released. The woman who survived the ordeal in Russia went into hiding in Benin City.
Everybody can be a customer, and the people that are going to see, they take the car, maybe they greet the wife and tell the guy, oh, I go to play in the bar or look at football match in the house of my friends. Then before go back to the house, they take 30 minutes more, and they go by car, they stop. They make sex, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, no more than that. They pay, and then after they go back. And some girl can have maybe more than 20 customers a night.
One day, they beat me up mercilessly. I could not bear it. I left the house. They advised me to call the police, that if I don't call the police, the woman will end up killing me and nobody would know about it. So I picked up my phone and I called the police, and the police came. They arrested the madam and our husband.
Beauty got a bed in a Piam Onlus safe house and has been living there for nearly a year.
The little I get from Piamunus, the little I get here, I can send back home, and they are living a little bit better than the way they were living. I'm happy, I'm feeling better than I used to be. That's it.
Then when we get to Agadez, we call from there to Duruku. We say our connection, Ali. Ali is there to receive us. From there, we take to Libya. We see our people there to receive us in Libya. The crossing from the Libya, that is where my business ended. I don't go to water. Then when you get to Italy, you call me, I say, Alhamdulillah, thank God. Then I take my ticket, come back to Nigeria. Then my business is over.
I need to support them, to support my family. They cannot just be making farm in the village. They cannot just stay there and die there in the village. I don't have anything. I don't have any support. I don't have anybody around me. I feel sad.